Our latest CBS News Battleground tracker polling shows Democrats losing steam in House races. Republicans have held an advantage throughout the campaign season, but Democrats had been chipping away at that lead until the last few weeks. Now, with just about 3 weeks left until Election Day, our polling estimates that the Republicans will win 224 seats to the Democrats' 211. That's more than enough to take back control of the House of Representatives. For more on this, I'm joined by Dave Levinthal. He's a deputy editor at Insider. So, Dave, why do you think Republicans have stopped the bleeding? Or why, put it another way, why are Democrats no longer making the inroads they were making?
Well, you almost have to go back to 30 years to quote Democrats on this very topic, which is it's the economy, stupid. And economic issues seem to be a major, major driver of the way that people feel in these sort of marginal races where things are very close. You may have toss-ups where the Democrat and the Republican are jockeying back and forth by just a couple of percentage points and giving Republicans a little bit of the favor at this point in time. As you noted, still a few weeks away. Early voting is starting right now, but if you're a Republican right now here in Washington, D.C., looking at the national landscape, you're probably feeling a lot better than you were even if we were having this conversation 2 or 3 weeks ago, John.
As you mentioned, the economy is always a big issue. I mean, but it's the hits keep on coming. Inflation numbers last week, our CBS News polling showed 65% of voters believe the economy is getting worse. Do you think it's a matter of they think it's getting worse and they want to blame the party in power, or they think it's getting worse and why not change things because they're not getting better at the moment?
It is a great American tradition to blame the party that's in power and to blame the president that's in power, too. So if things aren't going well, if those gas prices that you see driving down the street are going in the wrong direction, if the job situation in your county or your city or your state is a little softer than it used to be, then you're going to look at who's in power, and that's Joe Biden, a Democrat, the House and the Senate currently controlled by Democrats, and you're probably going to look to see if the grass might be a little bit greener on the other side, and because you want some of that green going into your pocketbook. So as a result, that's why you probably have a lot of voters right now reconsidering what they may have been considering a few weeks ago or a few months ago, and looking for something that could be an improvement upon the situation that we have right at this moment, this crucial, critical moment when voters are having to go to the polls and vote very soon.
In Ohio, they are watching one more Senate debate in that race between Tim Ryan and J.D. Vance, the Democrat and the Republican. Ohio's a state where everything you say being true, the Republicans should be winning it going away. It's a red state now. The economic conditions are bad, and the electorate there, as Donald Trump discovered and found out, is just the kind that Republicans angry about the economy would vote for a Republican. So why do you think that race is so close?
Well, that's one race among several that we could point to where you've got to remember that even though everything seems so nationalized and these Senate races and even House races seem to be, sort of the product of national phenomena, at the same time, too, they are local races. They still retain that quality. And in Ohio, J.D. Vance has just kind of blundered his way through this election campaign, kind of disappearing from the campaign trail at times, not necessarily doing all the things that he should be doing to have a successful race. And Tim Ryan, who seemed to be the underdog through and still is today, has become ascendant. And this race is going to be close, even ultimately if J.D. Vance does pull it out. So Tim Ryan has made a very compelling case that he's more Ohio than J.D. Vance, that he could do a better job. It's sort of been this kind of odd contest to be more blue collar with the man who wrote a book, Hillbilly Elegy, about these very issues. And Tim Ryan is like, hey, look, I'm as blue collar as it possibly can get. So that's been an interesting race to watch with huge implications on the national scene in the sense that the Senate is right now 50-50, and any swing in any 2 or 3 races across the country on the Senate side could be the difference as to who has power.
And Tim Ryan was asked in the last debate, should Joe Biden run again? And Ryan said no, which leads me to the last Democratic president, Barack Obama, who's going to campaign in Georgia. So if Democratic candidates are running away from the current Democratic president, what do you think Barack Obama could do to help out in Georgia?
Kind of bring that sense of hope and change back to this race in a way that Joe Biden is not providing, even though Barack Obama and Joe Biden are close on personal terms by all accounts, the political realities of where we are today are going to rule the day and rule the election from now until election day. So Barack Obama can kind of be that closer. He's going to be that closer. Jill Biden, the first lady, has in a way become as prominent, if not more prominent, because she is very well liked among Democrats in campaigning herself, playing an outsized role, as you might expect from contemporary first ladies. So Joe Biden is kind of taking a back seat because, hey, if you're not that popular, if you're not doing well yourself in the polls, you don't want to drag other Democrats down with you in a bid for Democrats to retain the House and the Senate, or at least get a split decision, which may be the best that they can hope for at this point.
That's right. Okay, Dave Levinthal, thanks so much for being with us.
My pleasure. Thank you.